Today I'm going to discuss does alcohol affect students' success. There is a report indicates that being drinking 2 or more times in the typical 2 weeks periods was linking to significantly lower semester's grades. And also, as a student, maintaining a good grade is important to many of us, since a good academic performance could bring a lot of opportunities such as good school offers, good internships, or high-paying jobs. And there are 2 research questions. The first one is, does alcohol truly affect the students' grades? And the second one is it possible to predict students' final grades based on the existing data? If the influential factors could be identified, students could know which factors is good for raising their grades, so they can retain better academic performance. And also, the school could utilize those factors to adjust the way that they educate students, helping them to get more opportunities to achieve success. So let's take a brief review of the data. The data set is derived from Kaggle. As you can see there, we have workday alcohol consumptions and weekend alcohol consumptions. And G3 is going to be our target variable, which is the final grades. And the reason why I choose this data is because it contains a lot of interesting information. It also not only just the alcohol consumptions, it also provides students personal information such as the time that they spend on study, their love relationship, and their family background. And there are 5 steps in the method. The first one is data understanding, the second one is the data preparation, and the third one is the descriptive analysis, and the fourth one is the predictive analysis. And the last step is I will evaluate the results and find the best machine learning algorithm. So let's do the descriptive analysis. The first thing I do is I build a distribution of the final grades. As we can see, the distribution is a little right skewed, and the average of the final grade is about 12. And this, I build the age distribution grouped by the gender. We can see we have 59% of female and 41% of male. And also, I was curious about does the test score differ for male and female students? So, and according to the final grade distribution grouped by gender, we can see that female student is more likely to get higher results. To know the reason why female students have better performance, let's take a look at the alcohol variables. And this is the alcohol variables based on their distributions. The left one is the consumption of the workday, and the right one is on the weekend. We can see most students drink less on workday, maybe because they think drinking a lot will affect their study efficiencies. And on the other hand, students started to drink more on the weekend. I think it is reasonable for students to drink more on the weekend, since they might want to go to party and have fun to relax. And then this is the alcohol consumption grouped by the gender. We can see that boys drink more alcohol than girls, no matter it's on workday or weekend. And this explains the reason why the female have the better performance on their academic. And then I build the distribution grouped by the level of alcohol consumptions. And then we found an important message. We can see that students consume more alcohol are having lower grade, especially on the workday. Therefore, drinking on the workday could be the bad idea, because the final grade of the student who drink on the workday are significantly lower. And then I built the scatter plots with the travel time and the final grade. I found out that students live close to school is more likely to get higher grade. After that, I built a scatter plot with final grade and absence grouped by travel time. However, we don't see any distinct patterns with travel time and absence. But we know that there is a negative relationship between the final grade and absence. So let's study the student's absence in more detail. Let's see will falling in love affect the number of absence and their student grades. So first, I'm gonna take a look who has fallen in love. We can see in this data set there are about 37% of students are falling in love. And then I build the distribution of the absence for the students who are in love and who are not in love. It seems like the students who are in love did not notice the time, because those students miss more classes than students who are single. And let's see if falling in love will affect the final grade. So I've built this distribution. We can see that the final grade of single students are slightly higher than the students who are in love. Maybe it's because teenagers in love want to spend more time with their girlfriends or boyfriend rather than the textbook. And also, there are more factors that can affect the students' grades. For example, the parent education and the study time and the desire of pursuing higher education bring the positive effect, and the number of classes failures and the access to internet bring negative effect. Before doing the predictions, I checked the correlations between the dependent variable and the independent variable. However, I found out that except G1 and G2, there are no factors have high linear relationship with the final grade. And also, the G1 and G2 are highly correlated to each other. Therefore, I would drop the G1. And then I check the normal distributions with the QQ plots. And we can see the data set is not truly normal distributed. And then in the prediction parts, I use the machine learning in two ways. The first one is the regression and the second one is the classifications. And also, I will make sure that there is no overfitting by checking the cross-validation. So the first step is I'm gonna use the regressions. And in the regression part, I use decision tree, random forest, KNN. And then, after doing the regression, I manipulate the data and resampling. For the first step, I divided the G3 into two parts. The G3 above the median is gonna be divided into 1, and the G3 who's below the median is gonna be divided into 0. And then I will use mode to rebalance the G3. And after doing the manipulation and a resampling, I do the classifications. There are logistic regression and decision tree. And after doing the machine learning, we can see that the decision tree perform better, and it has the best results. However, I found out that if I predict without the G1, the accuracy would be very, very low. So for the limitations, the first one is the size of the dataset is too small. Therefore, the prediction might not be applicable to all of the students, and therefore we need more number of observations. And also, most of the features in this data do not have significant effect on the final grade. Therefore, it is necessary to outsource the other features so as to improve the predictions. And last is the conclusions. We could see that the decision tree regressor has the best accuracy. However, the accuracy is low when predicting without G1. And although these factors in the dataset are not influential when they are individual, however, I think they can bring significant influence on grades when they are together. Therefore, we should not underestimate those factors. And also, to maintain the high grades for the final, we should the students should better not drink alcohol on the workday, and they should spend more time on the study. And also, falling in love and missing classes could bring negative effect on the grades. And this is the end of my presentation. Thank you for your attention.